Here's a quick little video of what I normally carry on my belt. I always have some sort of scrunch with me. When you throw your chain or other things you need to do, you're always tightening up your chain and stuff. I just got this bleeding control kit from those guys right there. There is, well, I'll open it up in a second. And then I just have, this is something I'll probably replace coming up here, but it's just from Home Depot. They're like Husky pouch, and I carry 3 wedges in there. And then sometimes I'll throw an extra chain right here in a bag. And yeah. And then I have this axe scabbard. A lot of times I use this if I have like a long, I don't always keep my axe in here. I do if I'm walking a distance or if I have some distance between trees and stuff. But otherwise I normally will chuck my axe tree to tree or whatever. I don't always put it on my back and carry it. Because I normally have like a 4 to 5 pound axe in there, so I don't always carry that in there. Yeah, I just have the council tool, splitting axe or whatever, on a 28-inch handle. When I rehandle it, I'll probably handle it 26 inches. A little shorter would be nice, but I like it. It's 5 pounds though, it's heavy. And then my tape. So nothing special about that. What's actually in the kit? This kit, and I keep it on me. I'm a firm believer. I like to have a tourniquet on me. Before I had this, I would just keep a tourniquet in my pocket on my shirt, in the breast pocket. That was unbuttoned, but the only problem with that is sometimes when I bent over, it would fall out and stuff. But there's a few things I keep in me. Sorry. Like that. Open it up. Yes. The thing I added was a whistle. Because if you actually do need help and you need to get a hold of somebody's attention, it's a lot easier with a whistle than it's trying to yell. But there's a pair of gloves in here, scissors in case you got to cut, I don't know, cut your pants for some reason to get a dressing on better or whatever. You know, something to cut your material, especially, you know, saw pants or whatever. I don't know how well those shears would do on saw pants. Maybe on the thin side it would work out okay, but I don't know. It's pretty thick material. Tourniquet, and I have that just stuffed in there. You take it out of the package and I stuff it in there, so that's the fastest thing that I can get to. And then other gauze, and then there's like a little roll of duct tape in here, and like a little glow stick in case, I don't know, you're not able to get out or something like that and it's getting close to dark. At least you can light that thing off. So yeah, that's what's in there. But I always have a tourniquet on me. I have a tourniquet in my climbing harness too, because my big thing is I don't want to be, you know, have some sort of massive bleeding. Just in case, you know, this is all, hopefully you never have to use anything in that kit, but just in case you have some sort of massive bleeding, at least you can take care of it with a tourniquet. But that's what I carry on my, I'll stuff that back in there the way I like it. That's what I carry on my belt, and it seems to work pretty good for me. Other times I'll carry a file. I generally, if I'm doing a lot of cutting in pretty decent wood, I will run square ground chain, but if I know that the wood might be a little dirtier or whatever, I'll run round filed chain. So then I'll put a file in here somewhere. Yeah, so that's kind of what I have. The belt came from West Coast Saw, their leather belt. I have a medium. I actually really like that belt a lot. The only other thing I would maybe add to it would be some sort of suspenders. But if I'm not carrying my axe a lot, it's actually really nice to just wear the belt, because I don't have that much weight on here. I just have my wedges, that kit, that's not that heavy, and that's not very heavy. I maybe do a little different setup for the scrunch, but I do like this because on the carabiner with a little bit of throw line, because I know that I'm not going to lose it. And you can still use this end if you need to do something with your spark plug. The little knot in there doesn't impede it. Or you can even slide that knot out the back a little bit. I don't know, I like it with the throw line on there, to be honest. And then I take the end of my scrunches and I take my Dremel tool and file them down a little thinner, just for a certain period of time. Not too thin, but thin enough that I can actually use it to clean out the bar groove on my saw. So that's another nice use for the end there. If you make it too thin, I don't know, it may break off, but I run 063 chain, so that tends to work for me, just to get that cleaned out if I flip my bar over and the oil hole is all plugged up and stuff. Either that, or I'll take a combination of this and the end of a file and pick through there just so I can get that hole opened up again. But that's what I tend to wear on my belt, and I use a little longer wedges. These are pretty decent. These were, I'm pretty sure, the 12-inch wedges, but over time of use, and I need to clean these up again, and banging around on them, they get shorter and shorter and shorter. So I generally get the long ones, I think the 12-inch wedges, and then I just use them until they're not usable anymore. I feel like I get the most bang for your buck out of there, because these have the same taper as the 10-inch wedge. Like if you hold a 10-inch wedge up to the 12-inch, it's got the same taper. It's just that, a 10-inch would end like here or so. So I'm kind of losing out on all this area that you can abuse before you have to, replace it. So that's what I run on there. This scabbard's a teeny tiny bit small for this axe, but it still works. I forget which one it is. The number's long. Wore off of there, but that's what I run. Seems to work out good. I like it. Like I said, I would maybe get a leather pouch sometime here, and maybe a leather scabbard, because this hitting against this or whatever, it's always making some sort of noise, which depends on if that annoys you or not. So yeah, Madson's, I think I got this from their website, that Grizzly Peak. Home Depot, from these guys, I don't know how to really pronounce their name. Fac Tie-In Rescue. But they get all their stuff from, if you read on here, they get all their stuff from, where does it say on here? It says on here somewhere. These guys right here. So they have a bunch of different kits on there too. So I looked them up as well. But if you just want the straight, like, kind of like loggers, bleeding control kit, just go to their website and buy one of those. Otherwise, the other ones are like an IFAC that you'd get in the military or something, you know, along those lines. I think they just have those guys custom make this for them. They just tell them what they want in their kit. The big thing that I want is I always want some sort of tourniquet. This thing was like 15 bucks, I think. It works. If you slip or whatever, your wedges can fly out though. So it works, it gets the job done. I had a zip tie the end of it though, because it was Velcro and it would just peel off. Anyways, that's how it's on my belt. Like and subscribe. That's just what I carry. You guys have a blessed day.